What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Mario B coming at you guys with an OU Wi-Fi battle today. Today we're playing against my good buddy Jay. Really excited. My boy Jay doesn't upload or anything like that. Just a really nice guy. But make sure to join my server so you can battle people like me or Jay. But that will be definitely linked in the description down below. So really excited to provide this video for you guys today. If you guys do enjoy battles like this where I do kind of post-com, I edit it all out, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe. These are a little bit more work than the normal OU Wi-Fi battle, but hey, I like it regardless. So as you guys can see, here is team matchup, and his team is pretty threatening. He has things like the Volt, which could put a lot of work against me. Clefable, if it's like a life or magic card, could definitely put in a lot of work against me as well. So my team consists of some funky things like Final Gambit, Excelgor, AEGISLAsh, which is an air balloon, which is pretty neat actually. Zera Aura on that life orb, Excadrill on the SwSh, Weakness Policy, Autotomize, Necrozma, and a life orb Nasty Plot, 3 attacks, Hydreigon. So here I figure Excelgor is probably the best lead I can go for. I can go ahead and Final Gambit anything that wants to come in here and probably most likely knock it out, because I think Excelgor's base HP is like 80 if I'm not mistaken. So definitely expect it to knock out. So going against my good buddy Jay here, and he actually has the dope trainer card matching with mine, so that wasn't on purpose or anything, but you know, hey, it worked out at the end of the day. So he goes ahead and leads off with his Vigavolt, aka Drive, which is a really dope nickname. Big fan of A-Drive. So I'm gonna lead Excelgor, as we both lead the bugs, so it's pretty funny. So here I figure I might as well just go ahead and click Final Gambit. I was debating Spikes or Final Gambit, but at the end of the day I figured Final Gambit is just better, because this thing is kind of a threat to my team. It can kill my Hydreigon, it stops my Necrozma from setting up. I do have Heat Wave, but not sure if it would kill. But I figure, hey, what the heck, let's go ahead and Final Gambit, make it a 5v5, and that's exactly what we end up doing here. So we're going to go ahead and Final Gambit his Vigavolt here, as I'm just going to go ahead and decide to go into my Excadrill after this, because it is SwSh. It could live any hit, anything wants to go for, and I was really scared of that Dracovish in the back that he had. So we're both Mold Breaker here, and I'm pretty sure we're both the same set, you know, SwSh lead. So here I'm just gonna Earthquake, because he actually doesn't have an Earthquake resist, as you guys can see right here. Vigavolt was his only Earthquake resist, so we're gonna go ahead and click that pretty free Earthquake, as my opponent here is gonna go ahead and think about his turn for a little bit, but ultimately he's gonna end up switching out, and he's gonna go into Wolfievish, which you guys can guess is the Dracovish. Not really sure why my opponent ended up doing that. Maybe he predicted me to go for Stealth Rock or something like that. So that's not a bad play at all on his part. So, but we do end up actually getting off some chip, and he just fishes Rentus, which will bring us down to our Sash, and we'll go ahead and knock out this huge threat right away, super early on in the battle. So really actually happy for that. I'll trade Excadrill for the Wolfiefish. So down it goes, and here I'm figuring he's probably gonna go into like something like Dragapult and U-turn out on me, and that's actually exactly what he ends up doing. So shiny Dragapult looking nice and fresh out there. So he's just gonna go ahead and click U-turn here, at least that's what I'm assuming. So I'm thinking I might as well just let this Excadrill go down. I'll try to get up rocks on the off chance that he doesn't have U-turn and he pulls like a double or something. But yeah, that was pretty much my theory behind this. I'm really thinking actually about going into Necrozma and getting off my Weakness Policy pretty early, but I figured you know, Ditto's a thing on this team, so I don't want to exactly give that Ditto a free +2 and make him, you know, pretty much a threat for my team. So here he's gonna U-turn, he's gonna knock out my Excadrill, my Potbelly, poor Potbelly, as it does reveal to be Life Orb, so that's something we have to keep in mind in the back. I know there's a lot of Choice Scarf Dragapult going around, but it's not that. So he brings it back his SwSh, what I'm assuming is his SwSh Excadrill, as I figure, hey, I might go into H// I'm Air Balloon, I can trick him, you know, he has to hit me with something else. But then I figure, hey, you know what, Necrozma doesn't seem like it's putting in too much work against this team, because this set actually has Power Gem, Heat Wave, and Photon Geyser. So I was thinking, you know what, I can't really get set up the way I want to off of Weakness Policy, so I might as well just sack this thing off. So here I'm just gonna go ahead and go for a Heat Wave, as I figure he might as well get up his Stealth Rock or maybe an Earthquake, whatever he wants to do. I could just go ahead and get some damage off on this. So I go ahead and Heat Wave here, and as you guys can see, it actually does nothing. It does nothing, which I actually thought this thing was what's it called, Assault Vest, but it is actually not. but it actually, I didn't even ask him. It might be, but that heat wave did less than I was expecting, as he just went for earthquake, and he's actually going to pull a double and go into his Clefable here. And Clefable actually takes a pretty decent chunk from this, as you guys can see. It did almost like 35 to, I want to say, maybe even 40%. So I figure a Photon Geyser could do big damage here. I kind of wanted to switch out into my Aegislash. I was really debating it, but at the end of the day, I just ended up clicking Photon Geyser here, and I do go hit for the Photon Geyser. As you guys are gonna see, this does big damage. Boom, boom, boom. Yep, clean 2-hit KO from the range that he was at. And my opponent actually predicts the Aegislash to come in and goes for the Flamethrower. So really good play on my opponent's end, as the Clefable reveals to be leftovers here. I know that I can just go ahead and sack this thing off, so I'm just going to go for another Photon Geyser. He doesn't really have a safe switch because Extra Drill comes in, and it will take about 20 to 15%, 15-20% if I'm not mistaken. But he ends up making a good play and just going into his Ditto here, knowing that he could take it, well, thinking he could take it pretty well, right? So gonna go ahead and get that Imposter. And Photon Geyser is one of the dopest animations, honestly. I don't know, I really like it. Like, besides Pyro Ball or whatever, I don't know. This one's pretty sick. But here I'm contemplating going into the Necrozma, since into my Hydreigon, since I know this Necrozma set can't really touch it. It only has Power Gem or Heat Wave, and Photon Geyser doesn't affect it. So I'm going to make the safe switch into my Hydreigon here, and then he actually misses the Heat Wave, which is pretty unfortunate. I think would have done about 20%, I want to say. I don't really know the calc off the top of my head, but thankfully for us, he does miss. And here I'm contemplating whether or not going for Nasty Plot or Draco Meteor. He does have his Ditto in right now, so I'm kind of more inclined to Nasty Plot here, but he ends up switching out here, as I actually do click Nasty Plot here, and I do have Flamethrower for the Extra Drill, which I was thinking could come in the back because he didn't really have another switch in. Clefable couldn't take the Flash Cannon, and if he did want to switch in Dragapult, that's pretty risky, but you know, he could have definitely. But here we're gonna go for the safe Flamethrower. Sorry, I thought I heard something in the background, guys. I'm gonna go for the same Flamethrower here and just knock out this Extra Drill pretty easily. Thankfully we did get some chip off earlier. I can't seem to remember how we got that chip off for some reason. I don't know, but he's gonna go into Ditto, make a good play. He is gonna be +2 Scarf Hydreigon, but luckily I do have a couple things. If he goes for Draco, I can go into something like my Aegislash to eat the hit. If he goes for Dark Pulse, that could be bad predicting me, but I can live with my Hydreigon at the +2. So here's really a mind game of what he wants to do. I really think he's gonna go for Dark Pulse, predicting me to go into my Aegislash. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let off a big Draco, but he actually just stays in and Dracos me right away. So boom, he's gonna hit me with this Draco, and it's gonna kill my Hydreigon. Unfortunately, Hydreigon could have put in a lot of more work in this game, I feel, but hey, to be honest, he had a lot of answers. He could bring the Ditto in, could have done this, and he could have brought in Dragapult and just U-turned on me, and since it was Life Orb, it probably would have killed me from the range I was at. So Hydreigon kind of had to go in the process, you know. But here I'm just gonna make this the switch into my Aegislash. I know this might be a little bit kind of like what, but he is scarfed into Draco, so I'm not really worried about the dark type move, and I do have close combat in this set. But I'm kind of thinking if I go for close combat, it gives him a free switch into Dragapult, so I'm just gonna end up clicking Iron Head here to get off some guaranteed damage on this thing, as he stays in. And Draco's, man, this man, I don't know, this man Jay is a crazy dude. He just went ahead and popped my air balloon. So we're going to switch into stance change now, and we're going to go ahead and Iron Head this down, and we just miss out on the KO, So here I figure it's pretty easy to just go for Shadow Sneak here. He could want to save this Ditto, which I was really worried about. I was really hoping he sacked this Ditto, because the Ditto is such a pain to my team. But he's going to go ahead and make the switch into Lusamine, which is his Clefable, and we're going to Shadow Sneak here. And as you guys can see, it's a clean 2-hit KO. But after this leftovers, I was not sure. I didn't want to risk it, so I went ahead and make the switch into the Necrozma here, because I figured, hey, I was going to sack this thing off anyway. I don't know if I outspeed this, and if I don't outspeed it, I don't live the hit, because I am in blade form, not shield form. So he's just gonna go ahead and Moonlight here, which was the good play. I mean, I should have definitely Iron Head. I was max speed, so I don't know why I didn't. At the time though, I wasn't too familiar with the set. I thought I was max HP, max physical attack, but I actually ended up being max speed, max attack. So know your teams, guys, before you play them. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and Photon Geyser here, as I know from this range I will 2-hit KO him even through the Moonlight, and he can go for something like Moonblast or Flamethrower and knock me out, which I don't really mind, because then I can just switch into my Aegislash again and Iron Head, since I will be in shield form and not the blade form. So Clefable here, gonna eat some leftovers, be selfish, not share any of its food, and I'm gonna go into my Aegislash here. So I am down to 2 mons at this range. I only have Aegislash and Zeraora, while he has Clefable, Dragapult, and Ditto in the back. So Ditto is definitely on my mind at this point. I know once I kill this Clefable that he's definitely gonna want to go into his Ditto after, copy me, and try to go for a Shadow Sneak, right? So that's what I'm thinking in the back of my head. I do luckily outspeed this Clefable, as I'm going to go for a clean Iron Head, knock it out. Aegislash just putting the team on his back. Its matchup was so good this battle, I had to take advantage of it. And here, I think my opponent's thinking about whether or not he wants to go into Dragapult or the Ditto here. If I was him, I would have gone into Dragapult, just because I do live a Shadow Sneak, and also I can't really switch into my, I was gonna say, like, devour my cat in the back Zeraora over here. So here I am gonna switch into Zeraora though on the Aegislash to take the Shadow Sneak, because I know that I'm not too KO'd by it. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring out my beautiful Zeraora. I love how it looks in this game. Shadow Sneak goes off, and as you guys can see, it's not a 2-hit KO. So here I'm just gonna go for the safe Plasma Fist. I figured if he wants to switch into something like his Dragapult is still taking about 30%, so it will take 30% into the play rough. So I figure it's probably not his best move. He's just gonna go ahead and Shadow Sneak again here, I'm thinking he's kind of fishing for the crit here, because he kind of needed it, but he doesn't get it, fortunately, as we do knock out this Ditto with the Plasma Fist, and it comes down to a 2v1 versus my Zeraora versus his, and Aegislash versus his Dragapult. So Dragapult comes out here, aka the meta, looking shiny. I like that. I love the shiny. I'm not gonna lie, you guys see it on the layout right here. It's one of my new favorite Pokemon. But here I am just gonna go for a Plasma Fist, because I know that I can knock it into range of a Shadow Sneak, which is why I didn't go for play rough. I didn't want to risk the miss. I know I had it. I wasn't feeling brave though, so I just get Plasma Fist, get off the guaranteed 30%, and now he is definitely in range thanks to Life Orb, thanks to the Plasma Fist of a Shadow Sneak here, and Aegislash is just gonna clean up the game here pretty easily. So that was a really intense, close, super close battle with my boy Jay. Big shout out to Jay for battling me as well, guys. Like I said, feel free to join my Discord server, as I do try to find battles in there whenever I am looking for them. Always looking to record. But yeah, again, big shout out to my buddy Jay for the battle, a great battle. And yeah, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to subscribe and leave a like down below as well, because wavy like that and groovy. Hey, so alright guys, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.